Hey, Rob,
Yeah.
would you say that the year of Jubilee would also be like another type of Sabbath?
Yep, and that was the last one we were going to tie up. So the final Sabbath that we've got is called the year of Jubilee. And here's the way the year of Jubilee worked. We had these 7-year cycles where you plant and you harvest for 6 years, and then you let the ground rest on the 7th year. God also gave them a provision that every 7 cycles of that sabbatical year, so 7 times 7, 7 years, 7 times, 49 years, he said in the 50th year, after you've run 7 of these cycles, in the 50 year, that is going to be the year of Jubilee. And here's what's going to happen on the year of Jubilee. We talked about it a few weeks
Hey,
ago.
Rob, real quick,
Yep.
what does Jubilee mean?
I don't know. Tell me. Tell me what Jubilee means.
It means like overwhelming happiness, right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Good.
Right.
Good. I'm just being honest. I didn't look up the year. I didn't look up the word Jubilee. That would be a good thing. Pull it up.
Yeah.
So while he's pulling that up, I'm gonna give you guys the rest of this on what happens in the year of Jubilee. So when the Israelites came into the Promised Land, each and every family from Israel, from every tribe, were allotted a portion of land. This is your land. This is yours to keep. This is for your family, for all generations to come. Now, I know this is going to be shocking to you, but some human beings didn't produce from their land properly. They didn't work it properly. They got themselves into debt. They end up selling their land, right, to other people, selling themselves into slavery to go work for other people because they're in debt, because they haven't done the things that they're supposed to do. 1 second, and I'll finish this up, and then we'll get what the word means. So God put in a provision. He said, "Look, I am not going to make your kids pay for your silliness," right? You got yourself into debt, sold yourself off into slavery. So every 50th year, on the year of Jubilee, everything goes back to even. If you sold your land because you ran into problems, ran up against an obstacle, or just were irresponsible, or you sold your family into slavery, on that 50th year, everything goes back to your family. You are released from slavery. You're released from bondage. Your debts are canceled out. Amen? Right? Now, once again, you can't cancel your own debts. You can't pay off your own debts. The debt that we have with God, the deficit that we have with God in being in rebellion against him, we can't take care of that. And he's showing us a picture of him taking care of that and always taking us back to zero. So that would be the final Sabbath, right? And probably the most the one that gives us the greatest picture of what Jesus did for us is that regardless of our ignorance, regardless of our unbelief, regardless of our hard heart, he paid the price so that our debts were taken care of and that everything could go back to even, just as if it had never happened. Amen. What does the year of Jubilee mean, Gerald?
So Jubilee literally means rejoicing. It's a season or occasion of joyful celebration.
Amen.
But it also moves towards especially celebrated anniversaries, usually around 50 years. And, of course, that
Amen.
comes directly from the Bible. So,
All right. See,
Hey, also, it comes from the Hebrew word jobel, which means ram's horn, since it was precisely that the horn was used as a trumpet to announce the Jubilee year.
so it's a celebration. Amen. Right? And why wouldn't we celebrate that God takes us back to zero, right? Hey, David, it's been a while, brother. You doing okay? Good. I can't hear you, brother. God keeps you going. Amen. Amen. All right. I'm sure we got a lot more to talk about here, but I may close it up with this this in with the final point.
Can we like I guess kind of summarize just the different types of Sabbath? because I feel like God is, with these, he's telling us exactly who he is, right? So in the 7 days, he's given us a break, the same thing in the 7 years. He's also allowing the land to rest, and that, he provides rest. He is our rest. And then at the year of Jubilee, he's also saying, like, look, I make things right. I set everything back to zero. I bring everything back to me. I reconcile everything.
Amen. Yeah. And the one thing, most important thing that we want to take away from this, because I think it is the heart of what he's telling us here, is that it doesn't have anything to do with what you do. It's what he has done. And he started this thing off, created us in rest right there in the garden. The first day that Adam was in the garden was the day that God rested, and he placed man in his rest. We ran away from his rest. Jesus, when he said it is finished on the cross, it is complete, he says you're entering my rest. And when Paul in Hebrews is talking about us entering into the rest of God, and to not be deceived and taken away, he's saying there's nothing you had to do to earn that either. You just simply enter into the rest. The final point I had to make, and we can discuss it, talk it, go back and forth. If y'all got questions, we can do that too. But I thought this was very interesting, is that God made a provision for the Sabbath, any of the Sabbath, whether it was the weekly Sabbath or the special Sabbaths. No man was to fast on a Sabbath. He said you are not allowed to fast on a Sabbath. And here's what I believe he is telling us through that. He said, I've created the abundance for you. And in the Sabbath, I want you to take that provision. I want you to consume that provision. I don't want you to ever think that you have anything to do with my rest other than eating in it, receiving from me what I've given you. Amen? Are y'all with that? Look, we can talk about this all day long, guys. And if it doesn't penetrate your heart, if it doesn't get into you, the rest that God has for you, the rest that he has for your mind, for your spirit, if that doesn't penetrate into you, then you won't have any, right? That rebelliousness in us that drives us to believe that we have to continue to strive for something that God has already accomplished. That is what keeps us from walking and living in his rest. Amen? Now, I'm not talking about having stuff. I'm talking about receiving his transformation of your mind to know that you are in him. Amen? Like, and that starts today. Now, he created you for eternity. He's going to take you into eternity. We're going to live the way that we were always supposed to. But as long as you're in this world, you're going to have trouble. You're going to wrestle with stuff, right? But we can be in the midst of our struggles and our wrestling and our pain and still exist in his rest. Amen? Right? Celeste is saying is that when God set the Sabbath apart for the Israelites as they went into the promised land, then he told them, this isn't just for you, it's for anybody that lives among you. Any foreigner that comes into your land, anybody that comes into sojourn in your land, you're not going to just pass your work on to them. They're going to enter my rest too, right? They're going to enter into this rest with us.